Hey everybody, this is Dave Englert here with KSM-TV, and today I'm here with Dr. Edward Love, who's a dentist in San Francisco. And Dr. Love, this is just a real pleasure to have you on the air here with us today. I just really appreciate you taking some time out to do this.
Well, it's my pleasure, Dave.
So Dr. Love, you know, you've been in the dental practice for a number of years, and I was thinking the other day, if I had to go and look for a new dentist, man, I wouldn't even know where to start. So, you know, as a dental expert, where would someone begin when they're trying to find a dentist for themselves?
Well, I think in today's world, the best place to go is to check online, check some of the online services, because the whole method of marketing one's business has changed tremendously over the years. It used to be you would put your name in yellow pages and you would put your name in magazines, etc. But that never really told you very much in terms of one's reputation. Now they have different sites such as Yelp and Demand Force and a number of different organizations where you can look into someone's reputation as defined by happy or unhappy patients. So you have to be very careful. I mean, if you look someone up, for example, you want to have implants done or you want to have cosmetic dentistry done. You go online, you look up the area that your geographic area, and then you look into the specialty that you have an interest in. And then what I would do, or should do, is to go ahead and take a look at what the reviews were. What was the impression that those patients had? Not just in terms of I was happy with the quality of work, but also were you happy with the quality of service that you got? And if I saw a number of people that had very mediocre grades on that, I would pass on that, because what you want is someone who over and over and over again has proven themselves to excel at all levels of dentistry, not just the clinical part, but the emotional part, the customer service part. You want a complete 100% sense of comfort when you go to that person. And then I would take probably 2 or 3 of those individuals and I would give them a call and see what your impression was when you first called. Were you welcomed into the office? Or did you feel like you were in a factory when you were put on hold and no one seemed to really care about you? They cared more about themselves. So that, for starters, that's what I would say. It's a good place to start is online.
That's great advice. You know, the other question I've always wondered this, and I think a lot of people think the same thing, and they kind of wonder, you know, should I be looking for a dentist that, you know, has been in practice for a number of years and has a lot of experience, or should I go for the young buck who just got out of dental school, and does he know the latest and greatest techniques, or doesn't that really matter? Is that just the wrong way of thinking?
I think it really depends on the individual. And for example, if you're a practicing dentist, and in my case, I graduated back in 1969, so I've been around for a long time. However, we take continuing education courses constantly. In fact, to renew our license, we have to have X number of credits of continuing education. So an experienced dentist would bring to the table the fact that he's done these things many, many, many times, but he still has the latest information and the latest technology available to him. A younger fellow or gal can come out and they're well educated. Yes, they're probably trained in school using some of this new equipment, but again, it takes time to get the system down, and so that you're using that updated equipment to the patient's best interest. So having said that, I think it depends on the individual. Really, you can have some young fellows and gals coming out who are sharp as can be, and you have you have elderly fellas, or not elderly, but mature, let's say, dentists who've been out there for a long time, but the reason they're still practicing is because in many cases they love what they do. And I think they're excellent. But I think it just depends on the individual. I couldn't say one necessarily is better than the other.
Yeah, that's also good advice. They always say if you love what you do, then you'll never work a day in your life, right?
That's absolutely right.
So when you're looking for a dentist, there's always the fear that some people have of going to the dentist, and I've never really had that fear, so I don't really understand that. But I hear it all the time that people are scared to go to the dentist. What kind of advice would you give them about that?
Well, it depends where that fear comes from. Sometimes people were fearing going to the dentist because perhaps when they were children, they went to a children's dentist or to a regular dentist, and the dentist said to them, "You're not going to feel this," and then he did a procedure and they felt it, and then they lost trust in the dentist. Are they fearful of discomfort? Are they fearful of cost? I mean, there's a whole number of different things that can create that fear. My recommendation is, again, to go online, find 2 or 3 offices in the particular area that you have an interest in and are convenient to you. And I would call up the individual, talk to the front desk gal, tell them that, I haven't been to a dentist for a while. I'm somewhat fearful of going. What I'm looking for is to have some cosmetic dentistry done or whatever the particular need is. And I was wondering if I could set up an appointment to just meet with the doctor and consult with them. And that way you have an opportunity to see the doctor himself, to see his staff, to see how they function, to see the facility, to see whether it feels good to you or not. And then from that conversation, you can go into more areas that you have a specific concern with. And what I would always recommend is that whatever you do, however far you take that you be sure that you get a written estimate from the doctor, giving you some alternative methods of treating your particular area of concern, and also determining what the cost is up front, so there's no surprises. And if you have any concerns about that, by all means, you should feel free to ask the doctor, are there any alternative forms? If perhaps one form which would be ideal was perhaps out of your price range at that point in time, sometimes you can go ahead and do maybe something that would be considered not quite as ideal, but still quality treatment, and at a later time go in and upgrade that. That we see that a lot with younger people just out of college, just starting out in business. They're limited, their finances are limited, and yet they grew up in families where they had good dental care, and they want to continue doing that. And so the question is, how do they find a dentist? As you say, a lot of it is word of mouth from other dentists who work perhaps in the same firm you work in. I'm in San Francisco, so we're down in the financial district, so a lot of our business comes from happy patients. So one of my greatest joys is having the opportunity to meet new people and hopefully to have them enjoy our office and enjoy the people they meet, and in turn refer other people. That's kind of the name of the game.
Yeah, good advice. So folks, if you're watching this interview, you've gotten a lot of great information on how to find a dentist, and I think that if you follow any of this information, it's going to help you make a really good solid choice for yourself. Now Dr. Love, you mentioned that you're in San Francisco and you're in the financial district. Now, if there are people that are watching this right now and they're in your area and they'd like to come and visit you, what kind of experience would they expect to get coming to your office?
Well, I would hope that it would be a wonderful experience. When they first come in, first of all, we want to know what their concerns are, so we can direct enough time to take care of that, at least to do a consultation for them. Many times, if someone wants to come in just to get to know us, we would welcome them to come in. There wouldn't be any charge. We would just have them come in just so they can test us out and see how they feel and see if we ring true to them. If they then say, you know, I would like to perhaps initiate some treatment, then what we usually will do is set up an appointment for them for what we call a new patient exam, necessary radiographs or x-rays, and usually a general cleaning. And that will give us the opportunity to gather information from the x-rays and the exam and the cleaning and put together a treatment plan, or a couple of treatment plans, depending upon what we see. At that point in time, the patient gets together with the front desk gals, who then provide for them a written treatment plan, which if an individual should have dental insurance of some sort, and they can bring that information with them, will then integrate the cost of treatment with the insurance that they have. So they'll understand better what their out-of-pocket would be and what would be taken care of by the insurance company. And it makes it much more doable in many cases, because we can do things in stages. It doesn't all have to be done at once. And that's very important to us, because we want the patient to be happy and always feel that they have control over what's being done.
Okay, so if you're in San Francisco and you would like to go to Dr. Love for your dental needs, you can reach him by calling 415-392-2072, or you can visit him online at drlove.com. That's DRLOEV.com. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dave.